Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we are going to see just new area of pronunciation in English and Arabic. We are going to touch the stress system of English and Arabic to see the areas of difficulties of the stress system in both languages. You know, the stress is the high pitch, where the sound is quite high or is high. Here we have two types of stress: the primary stress and the secondary stress. Then we have the zero stress or weak form. Our focus will be on primary stress. How could we pronounce words which are stressed in English? Either words in isolation or words in connected speech. First of all, the stress is meaningful. It gives meaning. And also it's grammatical. So grammatically, we can distinguish between verbs and nouns by using the stress. I say, for example, subject. It's a noun. Subject, verb, object, object, report, report, verb. Okay? So we can distinguish between the verb and noun by using the stress if the morphological system of this word is the same in both the noun structure and the verb structure. Now, semantically, the location of the stress differentiates the meaning of a word and of the sentence as a whole. So we mention subject, and we mention that this is a noun, and then subject, and this is a verb, and both are different semantically. In a sentence, we have what is called contrastive stress, which is placed wherever you like, just to convey a certain meaning. Today, I want to show you the sound system of English. This means this day, not any other day. Today, I want to show you the sound system of English. This means I, not anyone else. Today, I want to show you the sound system of English. This means that we are going to explain the sound system, not any subject else. So, wherever you put the stress, you change the meaning of the sentence. So we need to tackle the stress system and see the areas of difficulties facing our students while learning English. The English stress. So the stress is one of the suprasegmental features, along with the pitch, the intonation, and length. And it's very important in language since it has grammatical and semantic functions. The location of the stress differs from one word to another. We have what is called estimate rules for the stress, but cannot cover all words of English, mainly because these words are derived from different origins. You know, English relies on borrowing. So, this language has lots of borrowing words. In the 20th century only, English borrowed from more than 100 languages just in the 20th century. So what about going deep in history? You find English borrowed from Portuguese, from Latin, from Greek, from Arabic, from even Hebrew, from different languages. So the system of these words differs either in pronunciation or even in grammar, mainly the plural system or the pluralization system. Okay? So we have to take care once pronouncing these words. I'll try to facilitate the case by introducing just estimate rule as much as I can. So the stress is prominent in a word. So once I say subject, it's in the first syllable at the beginning, and this comes out with a noun. Once I say subject, this is a verb, okay? And this is available at the second part of the word, okay? So it is prominent. Now, we have some words that will indicate the manner of the stress system and how it is located or pronounced. Now, the location of the stress, as I mentioned, is responsible for changing the meaning. I thought you would eat. I thought you would eat it. I thought you would eat it. This means that he intended. The meaning is intended. I mean you have eaten it. I thought you would eat it. But in the second one, I thought you would eat it. This means that you haven't eaten it. So the meaning is changed according to the different location of the stress. Now we have what is called rhythm in English and Arabic. The rhythm system is based on the stress. Okay? So the rhythm in the sentence depends on the number of stressed syllables. Okay? In English, the sentence or the rhythm, or say the stress, is of time intervals. This means that not every single word in the sentence is stressed in English. However, in Arabic, the situation is different. Arabic is syllable time language. It is syllabic language, syllable stressed language. Syllable stressed language. So this means that every single word is almost stressed in Arabic. In English, the situation is different. In connected speech, we have weak forms. These weak forms are not stressed. For example, the preposition, the pronoun, the determiners, the conjunctions, the one-word syllable is not stressed. These altogether are not stressed in the sentence. Okay? However, the rest of the words may be stressed. Mainly the topic of the sentence or the topic of the phrase. It is definitely stressed. Okay? So the number of the stresses in the sentence comprise what is called the rhythm of the sentence. As I mentioned, we have two main types of stress: the primary stress and the secondary stress. The location of these two stresses differs from one word to another, or one group of words to another, mainly because of the difference in the origin of these words. I told you that we have different borrowed words in English. So the system differs from one group to another. Okay? This is one phase of the difficulty of pronouncing English. However, in Arabic, the situation is rule-based. Arabic is a productive language. English is not. Okay? So you find some sort of difficulty in pronouncing certain words. Now, generally, the word stress is not always in the first syllable in English. So we have, for example, computer, pew, language, pronunciation. So we have three words of different stress locations. Okay? So we don't have exact rules for the position of stress. Still, we have estimate rules that can be applicable to a certain group of words rather than others. As I mentioned, we have what is called word stress. Still, we have phrase stress. And we have what is called contrastive stress. It is optional. The contrastive stress can be put wherever you like, even in Arabic. I say, for example, أنا سأشرح لكم الدرس. أنا سأشرح لكم الدرس اليوم. اليوم. سأشرح لكم الدرس اليوم. So it is the high pitch. Now, even the three sentences of Arabic differ one from another semantically, according to the position of what is called the contrastive stress. This situation is applicable to the contrastive stress in English, as we are going to see. Now, the shape of a word itself decides the position of the word stress. I mean, whether the word is morphologically simple or complex. The grammatical category of a word itself can decide the position of the stress. I told you that functional morphemes, grammatical morphemes, don't have stress. They are weak forms. Lexical words are stressed, but the stress differs in position from one word to another. The number of syllables in a word also decides the location of the stress. So we have stress in two-syllable words. We have, for example, assist. This is a verb. The stress is in the second syllable. Assist. Okay? Apply. 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 Okay? So it is apply, the second syllable. I say object, the second syllable. Subject, the second syllable. Report, the second syllable. However, it can be in the first syllable. Report, subject, object. Okay? Now, if the final syllable contains a short vowel and one final consonant, the final syllable of a word if it contains a short vowel and the final sound is consonant, okay, then the stress must be in the first syllable. I say open, open, equal, equal. أنا بقولش equal ولا بقول open, open, equal. So the stress is in the first syllable, mainly because the final part is consonant and it is preceded by a short vowel. For the nouns, you have the stress maybe or mostly in the first syllable. I say money, money, product, product. It is the first syllable. We have adjectives which also have their stress in the first syllable, as lovely, even, willing, honest, perfect, but not necessarily having this rule be applied on all types of adjectives. So we need to see the stress in most of the English words. I mean the word types. Now we reach the stress in the 3-syllable words. We have the verb. So if the last syllable contains a short vowel and ends with not more than one consonant, the syllable will be unstressed and the stress will be placed on the preceding syllable. So we say, for example, encounter, encounter, cow, this is encounter, this is the stress. In the middle, determine, determine, deter, this is the stress. Determine. If the final syllable contains a long vowel or a diphthong, or ends with more than one consonant, then the final syllable will be stressed. I say, for example, entertain, entertain, ain, this is diphthong. So it is stressed. Now, if the syllable preceding the final syllable contains a vowel or a diphthong, or it ends with more than one consonant, then the middle syllable will be stressed. I say mimosa, disaster, disaster. Okay? Now, if the final syllable contains a short vowel and the middle syllable contains also a short vowel and ends with not more than one consonant, then both the final and the middle syllables are unstressed, and the first syllable is definitely stressed. We have quantity, quantity, cinema, cinema. يعني, to put it simply, if you have a word of short vowels, if you have a word containing short vowels, then the stress must be in the third syllable from the end. The third syllable from the end. Okay? We count from the end, not from the beginning. So, cinema. Si-ni-ma. The third syllable is C. Cinema. Quantity. Quantity. Okay? We have adjectives from the same rule. يعني you have this applied or applicable on some parts of some adjectives like insolent, opportune. But if the word ends in IC or SION or TION, then the stress is in the second syllable. So we have solution, solution. Terrific, terrific. Terrific. You have your students mix between or misunderstand, mispronounce the stress, so they say terrific. This is not acceptable in English. Terrific. Still, we have different types of locations of stress. I'm giving you the chance to have these introduced by native speakers now.
Suffixes that have the stress immediately before the suffix. This time, though, the suffixes have two syllables. Itty, meter, ico, graphy, ify, logi. Listen and repeat. Ability.
Second.
Diameter.
Second.
Medical.
First.
Biography.
Second.
Simplify.
First.
Biology.
Second.
Here are some more examples. Listen and repeat. Nationality. Thermometer. Electrical. Photography. Unify. Psychology. The stress. For example, enjoy, document, banana, afternoon. However, there are some rules. Words that end in the suffixes ear, ease, eek, and e have the stress on the suffix. Listen and repeat. Volunteer.
The suffix e.
Japanese. Unique. Employee. Here are some more examples. Listen and repeat. Boutique, antique, technique, engineer, career, mountaineer, refugee, trainee, referee, Chinese, Portuguese, Vietnamese. Careful, not all words ending in E have the suffix. Which word here has the suffix and the stress?
We have only one word which is stressed here.
Honeybee, coffee, divorcee, committee.
Do you understand?
Here are some more rules about stress and suffixes. Words that end in the suffixes il, you, in, shun with an S or shun with a T, shunt, shus with a C or shus with a T, and ick, all have the stress immediately before the suffix. Listen
The second from
and
there.
repeat. Official, visual, politician, addition, ancient, spacious, organic. Here are some more examples. Listen and repeat. Commercial, annual, Indian, television, efficient, delicious, fantastic.
As you see, once you have these suffixes, the stress is in the second syllable from the end. Okay? Before the suffix, you have to stress on the pitch to produce high pitch, or say primary stress. I say terrific, television, television, V. Okay? Fantastic.
Here are some more suffixes that have the stress immediately before the suffix. This time, though, the suffixes have two syllables. Itty, meter, ickle, griffy, ify, lodgy. Listen and repeat. Ability, diameter, medical, biography, simplify, biology. Here are some more examples. Listen and repeat. Nationality, thermometer, electrical, photography, unify, psychology.
So this is repeated. the final one.
Finally, here are suffixes that have the stress on the second syllable before the suffix. 8, eyes, us, and the double syllable uri. Listen and repeat. Operate. Apologize. Dangerous. Necessary. Here are some more examples. Listen and repeat. Dominate. Exaggerate. Integrate. Certificate. Socialize. Criticize. Emphasize. Recognize. Marvelous. Mysterious. Obvious. Miscellaneous. Secretary. Dictionary. Ordinary. Vocabulary.
So, as you see, the word stress has different rules. All these rules which I mentioned are estimate rules. So, it's very difficult for the Arab learners to understand such systems unless they imitate the speakers. The more you expose yourself to English, the more you master the suprasegmental phonemes. Okay? So, you have to be very cautious in teaching your students the sound system. And it depends on their levels, either the junior, the intermediate, or the advanced. You have to introduce certain activities that suit their level, okay, in pronunciation, in speaking, in communication, okay? The junior pupils or the junior graders can imitate you. This means that the teacher himself must master the suprasegmental phonemes very, very perfectly, okay? If you just pronounce wrongly, this means that your students will follow you and commit mistakes which can be fossilized by the run of time. So, you know that the reasons for committing errors are of different types. You have the types of errors. Some errors result from overgeneralization or faulty teaching, fossilization, or simplification. You've taken this in your methodology, I think, classes. So, we need to continue with the system of stress. We spoke about these points, and now we mentioned the different types of word stress, and I think that we terminated on the phrase stress. It's very important, stress. It comprises the rhythm of the sentence, and it is bound with time intervals in English. However, in Arabic, it is syllabic or syllable intervals. This means that every single word may be stressed in Arabic, but not necessarily to have every single word stressed in English. Okay? I say ذهبت إلى المدرسة. Translate it, please. Huh? ذهبت إلى المدرسة. This is Arabic, huh?
I went to school.
Again, Arabic, huh? Tabia?
I went to school.
Huh?
I went to school.
Okay, good, huh?
I went to school.
Quite good.
I went to school.
Out. Mhm.
I went to school.
Excellent.
I went to school.
I went to school. I say that the preposition is zero. It is weak form. So it is not necessarily every single word stressed. Okay? Today I want to explain the sound system of English. Today I want to explain the stress system of English. I don't say today I want to explain the sound system of English. This is Arabic. Cannot be understood by native speakers. This is heavy accent. Today I want to explain the sound system of English. Okay? So this means that we have weak forms and strong forms. The strong forms in the phrase are stressed. They represent words which are stressed. Okay? We have also what's called the stress shift. The stress in isolation, yani in words, differs from the stress in a sentence. So, for example, we have princess. Princess. Where's the stress? The second syllable. Now, Princess Diana. Princess Diana. The stress moves to the beginning. So this means that the stress does not locate in a certain position, even on the same word. It depends on utterance. So, connected utterance, speaking English in connected utterance, is different from pronouncing words in isolation. The position of stress differs. So, now, you hear now two sentences read slowly and deliberately as if they were said in presentation. The noisy cars being parked in the garage. Many people often read the business section of the newspaper. This is in slow tune. But we can read them differently. The noisy cars being parked in the garage. The noisy cars being parked in the garage. So we have the stress, the first stress in the final syllable of a word. This gives exclamation. Okay? Many people often read the business section of the newspaper. The newspaper. Just the business section is read. Okay? So the focus is on one word. Now we have some affixes, prefixes or suffixes that control the position of stress in the sentence. It seems that we are out of time now. I leave these PowerPoints on my page, and this includes the films about stress which you have already heard. So you'll see the whole lecture in my webpage. Okay? Next time we are going to continue with the stress system in both English and Arabic as well. Thank you now.